Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brandy. Today I'm going to be showing you how I take notes on my iPad. I use GoodNotes to take my notes, and I have the 2018 iPad Pro with the Apple Pencil, and my pencil also has like this little cover on it. I'm going to start off by pulling up the lecture on my laptop. Now that I have my lecture pulled up, I'm going to open up GoodNotes. I prefer GoodNotes over Notability because I like the way the folders are set up. So for every class I have a folder, and in that folder I have notebooks for the lectures, study guides, or PowerPoints that I get in that class. So I just go here, open folder to make a new one, and then I make notebooks in them. So today I'm going to work on psychology. I'm going to click on the psychology folder, and for this class I only have a notebook for notes. So this is just titled lectures. I'm going to click on that, and this is the first chapter that I did in psychology. I didn't really like my notes because I was using too many colors and I didn't really know what the colors were for. Like, I use gray for some of the vocabulary, and then I also used gray for something else, but it was very confusing. After I learned how to use GoodNotes, my notes look like this. Everything is written out in black, and then whatever is important is highlighted in a different color, as well as the title of the chapter. I also like to add in the pictures from the PowerPoint. I know some people like to draw them in, but I just don't have time for that, so I just take the pictures from the PowerPoint. And I actually don't do my notes like this anymore. Now my notes look like this. It's the same thing, but now I just draw a line down the middle to separate the information. For my paper, I like to use grid paper instead of the line paper because I feel like the top part and the bottom take up way too much space and I need to write a lot of information down. So the grid paper works best for me. It's also white. I know there's a lot of different styles that you can choose from, but I just like to stick to the white grid paper. So there's just a whole bunch of options here. And for my pen, I like to use the ball pen. Right now it's in gray, but I use black. And for the body of the paper, I like to use 0.4. And then for the title, I use 0.5. When I need to highlight any definitions or anything that's important, I will choose two colors. So normally I will do the subtitles in blue, for example, and then the definitions in like this like peach color, I think it is. I don't really know. But yeah, I just picked two colors to use throughout the whole lecture. Other features that I like to use when writing my notes are this zoom feature. It was difficult to get used to at first, but then I got the hang of it. So it just zooms into the part of the paper where you want to write. So I usually just zoom all the way out and then start writing my information. This also helps make my handwriting neater. I use this tool right here, which just helps you make circles or straight lines. This little rope right here is the lasso tool, so I use this to move any information that I don't want in a certain place anymore. I use the text tool to write out my headings, so like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then the picture tool to insert any pictures from my lecture. This is the font that I like to use for my headings. And after I updated my iPad, I was no longer able to use the fonts that I downloaded on my iPad in GoodNotes. So I'm going to go over to Procreate and then just type out my title for this section and insert it as a picture. Every day is gonna play out the same, the same. Hey, I love you better today than yesterday. Every day is gonna play out the same. It's gonna play out the same. Right below chapter 3, I'm gonna write the title of the lecture that I'm listening to. So this lecture is called Sensation and Perception. So I'm gonna do it in 0.5, zoom in. Because you're safe with me. The beautiful signs of our stories. I'm gonna highlight that in purple. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw a line down the middle of my notes with a 0.5 pen. I'm going to use this tool to help me draw a straight line. The reason I don't have my lecture pulled up right next to my notes is because for my psychology class, for some reason, I can't pull up the PowerPoint on here, so I have to do it on the computer and then take my notes on here, which is fine too because then I can use all of the screen space just to take my notes. When it's time to insert a picture for the lecture, I will normally go in and crop the picture. I already cropped the pictures for the lecture that I'm going to be on today, so I don't have to do that. But I'll just click on it, press crop, and then crop the picture if I need it to. If I don't have a picture that I need, I will just go on to Google and type in like neuron transparent background, so it comes up like this and there's no white around it. I also like to draw on my pictures. I'll just point to things that I need to remember. One thing that I really like about taking notes on my iPad is that when I'm filling out a study guide or I need to find a certain word or a certain topic, I can just click this little search button up here and then type in a word that I need. So let's say neuron, and then all of the places that I wrote the word neuron will show up here, and it just makes it easier for me to find information. Another way I take notes is by just inserting the PowerPoint that the teacher gave to me during the lecture and then just jotting down notes on the lecture slides. So I do that for my English class. Here I just insert my PowerPoints. I just wrote down some notes here and then highlighted important information. That just saves me a lot of time because I don't have to go into my notes and write out every single word that the teacher said, especially with this class because he gives out a lot of information, so it'd be a lot to write down, which is why I just import the PowerPoints. I find it very helpful that I can write on the PowerPoints, especially when I'm doing my anatomy and physiology class, because I just like to write down things that help me remember the name of the bones or the muscle or whatever we're learning. So here's an example of that. And then at the end of the PowerPoints, they always give us a slide where we can do like, I guess like a little practice test. So that's very helpful because I just write down the structure and then I can erase it and redo it until I remember them. That is everything for this video. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video.